Bonjour à tous, Privyet, welcome back again. So in today's discussion, we'll be talking about a very important topic about the limits of labels. The limits of labels. It's about how titles restrict you and I, how we allow titles or labels to restrict you and I. So what are titles and what are labels? So this picture shows a lot of titles. There are several titles. In this world, there are several labels that we give to people or we have placed on ourselves. Some of them can be the normal titles that we give to people, the normal labels such as I'm a boy, I'm a girl, father, mother, black, white, student, doctor, nurse, all of these titles that we give to people or we place on ourselves. Or other titles like I'm compassionate, I'm a genius, I am stupid, I am clever, like all these titles. They are very good and they have their places. But one thing that I've realized that titles are such that they can limit us. So let's go deeper into what I mean, how titles restrict us, how labels limit us. So what is a label, first of all? So a label is a classifying phrase or a name applied to a person or a thing. So when you say label of itself is a good thing. It is used to classify something. It is used to name something. It's used to tell something about something. So it's a classifying phrase or name applied to a person. But most often, when we say you are being labeled, it's usually used in an aspect to restrict something, in an aspect to stereotype something. So what is a label? A label is a word or phrase that is used to describe the characteristics or qualities of people, activities or things, often in a way that is unfair. Let's talk about the first aspect. A label is a phrase that is used to describe the characteristics of a quality or qualities of people. So when God created Adam and Eve and then he created Adam, he told Adam to name the animals in the garden, right? So the Bible said that every name that Adam gave to the animal, that was the name thereof. And actually, all the names that Adam gave to all the animals were showing their characteristics, were showing their qualities, were showing their nature. So in a way, labels are like names, they are like phrases that are used to describe something. They're used to describe a quality, whether it is good or bad. Again, what is a label? A label is a piece of paper, right? Or a tag or a material that gives information about the object it's attached to. So for example, if you buy a phone or you buy a laptop or you buy a bag, there is something on it called a label. So that label is a piece of paper or material and it's giving us information about it. So like for example, Lenovo, you know that it's a phone, it's an information about it. So what is a label? A label is their identities we take or we place on things to make it easier to identify and to be able to differentiate it from others, so that if there are several things around, one way of identifying them, one way of differentiating them is to put on them labels. So labels are very good, they are very, very useful. They have their place to serve as something to give us information, something to give us identification, something to help us to differentiate things. But sometimes if you don't take care in this life, you allow labels to be able to restrict you. What do I mean by that? For example, labels can be made in such a way that it may serve as boxes whereby you'll be boxed into it. So, for example, if somebody tell you that you are stupid, right? Or maybe you are not strong, or maybe you are not friendly, or you are not sociable, that title of you not being sociable, that title of you being stupid, that title of you being clever, or that title of you being pessimistic or optimistic will become a box in which it will limit you, to confine you. So in a way, labels or titles are like boxes. So for example, if somebody tells that you're a doctor, it puts a box on you, and that box is a good box or it can be a bad box, depending upon how you look at it. So if somebody says you're a doctor, it limits you to that aspect of being a doctor. So your mind is only a doctor. You don't think about other aspects. You only go into medical practice. You don't go into medical business. You only think about caring people. You don't go into doing other things which are more bigger than just being a doctor. So in a way, labels or titles are like boxes. Again, labels or titles are like boundaries. This anytime you place a label on a thing or you place a title on a thing, it serves as a confinement, as a boundary, something to limit it from going up somewhere. So in the same way, that explains why all nations of the world have been placed with labels. So we have first world, second world, and then we have third world. Even we have countries that are called HIPIC countries, or we are called developing countries or developed country. All these things are labels, and all these things are used to describe. Yes, they are used to identify. Yes, they are used to differentiate. But actually, in a sense, they serve as boxes. They serve as boundaries to limit you and I. So what is the label that has been placed upon you? Or what is the label that you have allowed others to place on you? Or what is the label that you have allowed yourself to be placed in? Anytime you are labeled or you put it yourself under a title or you put a label on yourself, remember, you are not only just doing you good by describing something that you are good at, you are also putting yourself in a box. You're also putting yourself in a boundary. Again, what are labels? So labels limit us. Labels, they always limit us. For example, if somebody tells you that you are, let's say, you are not friendly, right? That label of not friendly will limit you to the point that you tend not to become friendly, even if you have the capacity to become friendly. So limits are can be seen when we put labels on people. Anytime you put a title on somebody, anytime you put a label on something, you put limits on a thing. It is good, but it's having its bad side. Again, labels are like tags. So, for example, if they tell somebody that the person is black, it becomes like a tag on that person. Being black is good, but because of how we are seeing it, anytime you tell somebody is a Negro or is a nigger, or maybe he's black or he's albino or he's white, it forms like a tag, like a stereotype, which is being placed on a person, which is not the best. So labels again or titles are actually not supposed to be tags or boxes or boundaries or limits, but labels are supposed to describe, as I said, characteristics. They are supposed to describe tasks, what you can do. So our anytime you are given a title, maybe the title of a president, the title of the leader, the title of a doctor, title of a teacher, that title is not supposed to be seen as a boundary only. It's supposed to be seen as a task, what you are supposed to do. So most people in nowadays only prefer to be called apostle this, prophet that. But the actual name labels are supposed to be descriptive things showing what you can do. Descriptive things defining what you can do. They're supposed to be tags, not tags. They're supposed to be tags. TASK, not tags. Something to limit you, something to restrict you, something to make you happy. And I am the apostle or this. No, 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 no. They're supposed to be show what you can do. So labels are supposed to be seen as tags. Again, labels or titles can be seen as locks or like chains. Anytime you put a label on something, anytime you put a tag on something, you are putting a restriction on the thing. You are putting a restriction, a confinement, a lock. You are locking a thing into chains. So we should be very, very careful about the labels we place ourselves in, or the titles we give to ourselves, or the titles we give to other people. Because of that, you have to realize that what you define, you confine. And then definitions are also confinement. So in other words, labels are definitions. And anytime you define something, you're actually confining that thing. Anytime you describe something, you're actually restricting something. So if I'm describing this as a car, right? I'm giving it all the qualities of the thing that make it a car. And because of that, I'm restricting it from every other qualities that will not make it a car. If I take this one as black, or let's say as blue, I'm describing it with all the qualities that make it blue, and I'm restricting it from all the qualities that don't make it blue. So definitions are also confinement, descriptions are also restrictions. So you should be very, very careful about what you label yourself to be, or the title that you place yourself. So because of that, box and titles and then labels are they have their good side. So even if they have their good side, right? It is very, very important that even if they are going to be boxes, even if they are going to be tags, even if they are going to be boundaries, if they are going to be limits or confinement, you should make them to have these characteristics. Number one, they're supposed to be descriptive. They are supposed to actually describe what you are supposed to do to make the work more easier for you. Again, they are supposed to be informative, trying to make it easier for people to identify stuff. Again, even if titles or labels are supposed to be boxes or there are limitations, then make it a bigger box so that you can have a bigger range of movement. Don't make it a small box, make it a bigger box so that you can have a long range of motion. Don't make it a small limit, make it a bigger limit. So if they say that you are not friendly, fine, you're not friendly, but make it like I'm not friendly to maybe two people. Make it a bigger box, make it a bigger box instead of it becoming a normal box. Again, try and make labels or titles special. Make it try to not only describe you, but try to make you become specific to something, to be able to master some aspects. So that if they say that maybe you're a doctor, now yes, I'm a doctor, but I'm a doctor of this, I'm a cardiologist, I'm a neurologist, then by that aspect, by that mentality, by that title or label, it will make you to become an expert of that field, so that you don't put that limit on you to limit you, to just limit you as a boundary, as a box, but it makes you to be so that you become the master of that box, the master of that boundary. I hope you understand. Then again, labels or titles are supposed to be things that motivate you. They're supposed to be things that push you, so that if somebody tells you that you are the president, it's supposed to push you to do things that president do. It's supposed to push you to do tasks that are greater. If somebody tells you that you are a history maker, if somebody tells you that you are a world changer, you are the savior of the world, it's supposed to push you. The one thing I've realized about God, that God, the name of God, the true name of God, Yahweh, is I am. So it is not restricted. I am is not restricted. I am can be anything. I am Savior. I am the Savior. I am the bread of life. I am the light of the world. I am this. I am that. I'm the creator. I am God Almighty. I'm the healer. So God is so intelligent and so wise that even in this name, I am, He's trying to tell us that we should not restrict ourselves to what we are now. So that explains why when Moses was asking God, God, what name do you want me to tell the people that you have? God told them that you should tell them that I am who I am. In other words, God was not putting a restriction on Himself. He was trying to describe Himself, but He was not putting a restriction on Himself. He was calling Himself I am, so that I am can be healer, teacher, savior, creator, everything that you want, which is very, very important. So our labels or the titles that we allow people to put on ourselves should actually be motivational. They're supposed to be things that push us forward, move us higher. Again, labels are supposed to be respectful, not anything that they will give people, not anything that deplete people, not anything that put people down. They're supposed to be respectful labels, like something that is going to honor people. Again, labels are supposed to be energizing. Anytime somebody puts, say, or anytime you have a title or you try to put on yourself a title, you should make sure that that title is going to be a title that is descriptive, informative, bigger, a title that is going to put you to master the special stuff, the title that is going to push you to do greater tasks and to do greater things. So this is some of the things I want to share with you, that do not allow yourself or allow people to put labels on you that are going to restrict you, but rather try and use all those labels or titles as things that are going to push you forward. They are things that are going to not just confine you to one aspect, but rather to cause you to go deeper and go higher. Thank you, and stay